What can kill you that people often underestimate? Fridges and vending machines. Don't climb them or shake them. The vending machine kills more than a shark. To be fair, that statistic would likely change if people regularly interacted and shook sharks down on a daily basis. Stairs, one minor misstep and it's really easy to fall. I'm constantly almost dying on stairs. It's only a matter of time. I almost died from carbon monoxide poisoning 2 days ago. I spent about 2 days just passing out in my bed. I was so tired. Eventually somebody smelled gas because I couldn't. So they called the energy company, who had somebody there maybe 30 minutes later. Her co-meter was going off as she walked up to the door before it was even open. She said, "Open windows and leave right now." That was when I realized I had been passing out for 2 days and in such awkward positions that my back was sore as hell. So I got to the hospital and my resting heart rate was about 130 and I was told my skin was an off color. But other than passing out, I felt no symptoms. I didn't notice my heart rate was so high because it wasn't accompanied by heavy breathing like usual. I was the only one home most of the time. I might never have woke up if that had continued for much longer. Seriously folks, if you don't have carbon monoxide detectors on every level of your home, go get them. If you are renting, get the landlord to buy them. Flare gun. Treat it the same as a handgun. I know a guy who can only flip me off on one hand because of a flare gun. Is it cause you shot him with a flare gun? Water, pools, lakes, etc. People forgot how easily their children or themselves can get into trouble while they are near the water. From Michigan, so lake swimming is a big thing. If the lake water is over my head, I have a life preserver on. Done, no exceptions. I'm a healthy young adult, but one wrong breath or cramp and you sink, and you're not kicking off the mucky bottoms in a lot of our lakes like you can in a pool. My family are all lifeguards and I can't stress how important that last line is. People die just assuming the ground is similar to sandbars or pool walls. The common flu. The estimated death toll from the flu in the 2017 to 2018 season in the US was 61,000. https://www.cdc.gov/flu/about/burden/index. HTML with 810,000 cases severe enough to require hospitalization. My boyfriend's brother was hospitalized recently with the flu. His girlfriend found him passed out in their bathroom. He's 38 and in relatively good health. The flu is nuts. Lack of sleep. It will do you in and lower your life quality until it does. Even a measly 2 hours can be the difference between a super dark mood or my normal cheery 8-hour self. It's just odd how fast lack of sleep will fuck with a seemingly stable mental state. Bacteria. Appendicitis. Dad told me to man up, shut up and deal with it, and to fix my diet, and that it was just a stomach cramp that everyone gets. I'm on the smaller side and pretty fit. If I had followed that advice, I would have been dead by the next day. Had emergency surgery. He was giving me that lecture again when the doctor walked in and shut down every single point. Edit. My dad wasn't told it was appendicitis until after the surgery. He was upset and didn't show up until then. The doctor corrected him and he did apologize, since he had appendicitis when he was the same age. And when he was younger, a neighbor of his had died from it. A neighbor of my mom's also died from it. Ironically, she's the one who says man up now, and my dad is the chill parent. That's how my paternal grandmother died. Her husband, my grandfather, told her to stop complaining. She was in her 20s with 4 kids. Wow, I bet he thinks about that every day. Poor grandma. Electricity. Very, very dangerous, but people just mess with it. A teaspoon of water in the lungs can cause a person to drown. That small amount of water can trigger laryngoscopy, closing off the airway. Secondary drowning is some scary shit. Tylenol overdose. The difference between typical dose and dangerous overdose is surprisingly few pills. Pancreatitis. I was 17 and told my mom my stomach hurt and asked if I could stay home from school, to which she said no. So I skipped and went over to my then boyfriend's house because his mom worked from home and I felt like death and didn't want to be alone. I was throwing up so much I got really dehydrated and passed out. She took me to my mom's work and explained that I'd come over to her house and I was obviously ill and my mom should take me to the doctor. My mom took me to the walk-in clinic. They gave me nausea meds via shot and sent me home. That night I start running fever and can't get it to break. My dad, who is very easygoing and calm, finally puts me in the car and takes me to a court scan showed my pancreas close to rupturing. I was admitted and had to stay almost 2 weeks in the hospital with no food or water. Everything through fourth. It sucked. The morphine did little to help. My mom still thinks I was just being dramatic. Apostrophe. Your mom's a bitch. Sorry, not sorry. For some reason people don't tend to think that a car can kill you. Edit. Wow. I didn't thought it would become this big of a deal. But I'm glad that everyone agrees that safety is no joke. I was actually on a car accident when a drunk driver crashed me while I was on my bike. It wasn't anything serious. My jacket and helmet took the worst part. But it's scary to think that for just dumb luck I made it a little too early or a little too late and death. So always stay safe. Rules can be a pain in the ass sometimes, but they are there for a reason. And it's not to break them. Don't speed on yellow, especially if it's a intersection. Don't get cocky just because you are on the highway. You can and will lose control of the vehicle. Stay safe and be responsible. Edit 2. When I say bike, I mean motorcycle. Few things piss me off more than a driver crossing into other lanes cause they are on their phone, basically saying fuck my life and anyone else's. Or peds just blindly walking into the street. Antibiotic resistance. You don't need an antibiotic every time you're sick. I promise.